Hi everyone, my name is Heejun Lim. I'm a second year PhD student in the School of Kinesiology and Health Studies at Queen's University in Canada. This study I'm presenting today is a systematic scoping review of intersectionality in physical activity participation. Before I begin, I would acknowledge that this work is published in Social Science and Medicine Population Health. Intersectionality is a theoretical framework first coined by Kimberly Crenshaw in 1989 to understand experiences of Black women who face intersecting and cumulative forms of oppression or discrimination, such as sexism and racism. It has since evolved to better understand how social identities combine to create different forms of oppression or discrimination. There are three methodological approaches to intersectionality. First, intra-categorical intersectionality focuses on one specific group with more than two social categories. For example, a study may look at experiences of Black women, individuals who are intersection of Black for race and women for gender. Second, intercategorical intersectionality focuses on multiple groups with more than two social categories. For example, a study may look at experiences of multiple groups within race, ethnicity, and gender categories, and make comparison between individuals situated at different intersections. Lastly, anti-category intersectionality refers to an approach arguing that using fixed categories is too simple to understand the complexity of individuals intersecting social identities and their experiences. It is widely known that physical activities, including sports, is beneficial for overall health and well-being. However, participation in physical activity vary across individuals with different social locations. For example, women, girls, older adults, people of color, people with disabilities, immigrants, people with lower income or lower education levels participate in physical activity at far lower rate than their counterparts. Therefore, the objectives of this review were to summarize the findings of articles examining physical activity participation grounded in intersectionality framework and identify scope and gaps related to operationalization of intersectionality framework in physical activity research. A systematic scoping review, including databases searches, data screening and extraction, and narrative synthesis was conducted between September 2019 and May 2020. This review included articles that explicitly claimed operationalization of intersectionality, written in English, and published in peer-reviewed journal. We used intersectionality, physical activity, and sport as keywords to identify relevant articles. 16,564 articles were identified from 7 databases, and 1 article was identified by manual search. After removing duplicates and irrelevant articles, 45 articles were included in this review. Among 45 articles, 41 were qualitative articles, 2 articles were quantitative, and 2 articles used mixed methods. Sex, gender, and race ethnicity were the most common social identity variables observed in the included articles. This makes sense because the intersectionality is rooted in Black feminist studies. The most common intersection of social identity variables was sex, gender, and race ethnicity, followed by sex, gender, race ethnicity, and sexuality, and sex, gender, race ethnicity, and religion. These results also make sense because compounded with sex, gender, and race ethnicity, homophobia, transphobia, and Islamophobia still remain major issues in physical activity context, especially sport context. There are imbalance between qualitative and quantitative studies among the included articles. Physical activity research grounded in intersectionality have centered on particular social identities and intersections. To better understand the complexity of individuals' experience in physical activity context, advancement in quantitative intersectionality is critical to identify most marginalized group and their determinants in physical activity and sport context at population level using intercategorical intersectionality approach. And future research should aim to investigate diverse social identities and multiple intersections in both qualitative and quantitative physical activity research. This is it for today. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed the ISBNPA conference.